All right, so we're going to solve by substitution again with these two examples. Example 3, to me, I look at it and it kind of looks like a mess. I see variables all over the place, and we just want to clean this up before we do anything, really. So the first equation, I am going to get the y's on the same side. So that minus y, I'm going to add y to both sides so that I have 3x plus y is 2y equals 4. So that one looks better already. All right, same thing with the bottom equation. I want to get those x's on the same side, so I'm going to add this x over to the other side so that we have 2x minus 5y equals negative 29. Okay, so that just cleaned up our equations a little bit. You may have to do something like that with these problems, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so solve by substitution. Solve for the loneliest variable. Well, I have 4 variables, x, y, x, y. Every single one of them has a number in front, so we don't have a lonely variable. In my mind, because I've done these before, I know that this may mean we're going to deal with fractions. Solving for the loneliest variable will avoid fractions. So if you can do it, do that. If not, then you have the fraction button on your calculator to help you out. Okay, so I am going to take this equation, how about this top one, and I'm going to solve for the y. So let me do that over here. I have 3x plus 2y equals 4. I don't really know why I chose to solve for the y, but that's the one I picked. I suppose it wouldn't matter. So 2y equals a negative 3x plus 4. Divide everything by 2. So we have y equals negative 3/2 x plus 2. Okay, so we have solved for a variable. We've got the y equals. Remember in the last video we said you want to have x equals or y equals. So what does y equal? This, negative 3/2 x plus 2. This is going to get plugged into the equation we have not used yet. So it's going to get plugged into our bottom equation. And where does it get plugged into? In for the y, because it is y equals. So then we just plug that in. 2x minus 5 times. Now I'm going to put parentheses because I have to plug in that whole thing for y. To plug it in negative 3/2 x plus 2, and then carry down the equals negative 29. All right, now we're going to solve this crazy equation. Distribute that negative 5. Negative 5 times a negative 3/2 is a positive 15/2 x. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10 equals negative 29. All right, now to solve this, let's combine like terms. We have a 2x plus 15/2 x. That gives us 19/2 x minus 10 equals negative 29. Okay, so remember when we have dealt with fractions and we say, I don't want to solve an equation with a fraction? Well, you can do your fraction trick, multiply everything by the denominator, and it'll just make it easier to solve. So 2 times 19 is 38, divided by 2 is 19, x, minus 2 times 10 is 20, times, and then 2 times a negative 29, so we're just distributing this, right? All right, then we're going to add 20 to both sides. So 19x equals a negative 38. Isn't this working out better than we thought it would? Negative 38 divided by 19 is a negative 2. Whew. Okay, so what do we do? Look at all that work. It's so pretty. You guys should be proud of all that work you just wrote down. Okay. So x equals negative 2. We're going to take that negative 2. Remember, just plug it right back into the thing that we boxed out in the beginning, because that's going to give us the y value. Y is equal to negative 3/2 times 2 plus 2. So negative 3/2 is a negative 6 over 2, which is negative 3, plus 2, so y is a negative 1. So our solution, the x is a negative 2 and the y is a negative 1. All right, I would say that example falls on the more complicated side of substitution. Well, good thing we get to do another one. All right, so this one will move on along a little bit faster. Again, notice that we do not have our x's and y's on the same side. So I'm going to go ahead and add this x over here. I'm going to rewrite it. We have 2x plus y equals 3. And then over here, I'm going to subtract this y to get it over there. So we have 5 equals negative 2y plus x. Okay, solve for the loneliest variable. I see this y right here that has nothing in front of it. That's going to be an easy one to solve for, and we will avoid fractions on this. So 2x plus y equals 3. Let's subtract 2x. So we have y equals negative 2x plus 3. All right, our goal is to get x equals or y equals for substitution. We just got y equals, so y equals negative 2x plus 3. Then we take this and we plug it into our other equation in for the y because it was y equals. So 5 equals negative 2 times negative 2x plus 3, and then we still have that plus x to carry down. All right, let's solve this. Distribute that negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2x is a positive 4x. Negative 2 times 3 is a negative 6 plus x. So we've got 4x plus x on the same side, so we'll just combine those. 4x plus 1x is 5x minus 6. Let's go ahead and add 6 to both sides. So we have 11 is equal to 5x. Whoops. And then divide both sides by 5, so x is equal to 11/5. All right, what do we do with that 11/5 once you get one answer? We're going to plug it back into the box. So y equals negative 2 times 11/5 plus 3. You can do all this with your calculator. We get negative 22/5 plus 3, and then on your calculator that's going to give you negative 7/5. So our solution is the ordered pair 11/5, negative 7/5. And we're done.